Guys, InvestorLift just came with some game-changing updates, y'all. Like they recently just got over 4.2 million buyers inside of the system now, and they're gonna be having a two-way texting platform coming to the system soon as well, y'all. So I'm super pumped for this. I wanna watch this quick little video with you all that's gonna go through some of the new updates inside of the system. So let's not waste any time. Let's get right on into it.
So first of all, I want to start off by congratulating all of you on officially breaking 4 million buyers. This is absolutely incredible. A huge accomplishment. I still remember when we were first getting started, when we broke our first 100 buyers and our first 1,000, our first 10,000, our first 100,000. I remember when we got to 1 million, I was like, wow, we have 1 million. I don't think there's any more buyers in the country, but sure enough, we're now past 4 million buyers. And actually, we're about to break 4.2 million already. So congratulations. That's all of you. It's definitely the biggest, most powerful buyers database ever built with everyone's information there. So congratulations to all of you.
All right, just for all of you all who may not understand, having 4.2 million buyers inside of the system is pretty legendary. But what InvestorLift does is essentially aggregate all of the buyers from all of their users across America. So you may be literally contacting the same buyers as, Pace Morby or Jamil, or you may see one of your favorite YouTubers on the buyers list, right? It'll be kind of crazy or whatever. But 4.2 million buyers, you're going to have buyers for different scenarios all over the nation.
To put this into perspective too, if you look at the volume of deals we've been moving.
All right, so as you can see right here, in August 2022, the InvestorLift deal volume was 5,000 deals, whereas all of the iBuyers combined did about 2K deals in the same time frame. That means that InvestorLift is literally slapping the competition right now. There was a period in time about a year ago where the iBuyers were getting a lot more deals, but apparently InvestorLift has taken off in terms of the deal volume that's going on inside of InvestorLift. Obviously, they're doing something right. Something is working.
Next thing is marketing logs. I've had a lot of CEOs call me and were like, hey, Robert, I'm trying to keep track of my disco managers on like what's gone out, what's not gone out. I had one deal that it was sitting in my system for 2 weeks. No one blasted it. Someone just forgot to blast it. Now we're in trouble trying to sell it last minute. And you used to have to click into the property, click it, send notifications, and then go all the way in. And then you would see, the history of the deal blast on that deal. We have now moved that right onto the property page. So right on the property page, you can just look down the list of properties you have in your pipeline and see exactly what was blasted, how many people was blasted to, and all that. So that's just going to really simplify things for business owners that want to keep track of what's been marketing and what has not been marketed yet.
I like that a lot, actually, guys, because there's been several times since I've started using InvestorLift, since me and my team, we'll pop inside of there. Maybe we'll have a team member pop a property inside of InvestorLift, but we fail to actually send out the emails and text messages to actually market the property. So having something like that that shows when the last time that the property was marketed, I think that that's definitely going to make a difference, at least in my business for sure.
And then we also added this too. This is for admins. If you're an admin, you can go to users and click user sessions, and you can actually see a history of where everyone has logged in, every single login into your account. You'll be able to see exactly where people are logging in from, the date, the time, the IP address, all of that. So if you did ever have an account compromised, you can, or you're thinking you're not sure, you could pop in here and check on that really quickly. And you got
Boom. That could be pretty major right there as well. That could definitely help you with time reporting as well. So you'll know exactly what time your acquisition manager or VA actually logged into the system and things of that nature and where they logged in from and stuff. I really, really like that.
also check if you have a dispo manager that hasn't sold anything for like a week. They're like, yeah, I'm working really hard.
Right. You get what I'm saying? Right. Exactly. So you can know how often they're logging in, when they're actually getting work done. I really, really like that user login tracking. I noticed that a previous time hopping on here. I was like, okay.
Counting God mode all day. Pop in here and you see they haven't logged in 2 days, then it gives you a little bit extra. I would say trust but verify. Trust but verify gives you some extra insights there. Next thing is property info autofill. This is one that we used to have. We used to do it with Zillow, and then Zillow shut off all their APIs and then it broke it. We just brought it back using another data source. Now, if you put in the address for a property, it'll pull all the property data, pre-fill that for you. It just makes creating properties a lot easier. And then another cool thing that we did is under comps here, you can now click this button to automatically pull in comps from Zillow. And then if you want to feature them on the property, you can click yes, toggle them on or off if you want to show those to buyers or not. And then you
Boom, that could be major right there. Not only that property info autofill stuff where it like just inputs all of the information about the property so you're not sitting there having to put in every little thing. It's the pre-filled information, and then you could just automatically pull those comps. I think it was a button there for it before, but it wasn't working perfectly. Well, it didn't say pull automatic comps or whatever. It said something else or whatever. But now it's obviously working. I've used it recently myself or whatever, and you could just feature those specific properties that you want to feature. I really like that. Honestly, it's like super speeding up the process of being able to get a property in and get it out to buyers much more quickly than what it used to be before inside of InvestorLift. So I'm really liking these updates.
of course, you can also manually add comparables here. If there's a property that you want to add, you can type it in there. I don't think that's really an actual real address, but you can put in a residential address here. It'll pre-fill all this data, click save, toggle it on, and it'll feature that comp on your property. Okay. So that should make comps a little bit easier. Next thing. Okay. We talked about that auto comps. GodMode ARV. This one is super killer. So last year we got kind of spoiled. We could sell everything to the hedge funds at super high ARV percentage. When we go into GodMode, one of the prime strategies would be just filter, buyers high to low based on buyer score, and then go look at, who are the highest scored buyers in that area and go reach out to them. Now that we're shifting to a buyer's market, some of the buyers that actually pay the most are actually buyers with maybe 3 or 4 or 5,000 buyer score, right? So we added this percentage ARV filter where you can come in here now, filter high to low. There are always, sometimes issues with the data. It's public record data, right? Like where people make typos on stuff. But if you come in here, you can see, who's paying 90 cents on the dollar, who's paying 80 cents on the dollar, and you could zoom in and go find those buyers that, like 3,000 buyer score, bought this at 87% ARV.
Man, I really like that they have this new percentage thing inside of there. So you really kind of hone in on what are these, like what ARVs are these people buying properties at. You may be able to actually squeeze out more hedge funds or more of those buyers that have much larger budgets and can have a lot more room for risk. Let's put it like that. So yeah, that percentage thing can definitely be a game changer right there. The God mode percentage.
The next thing is address requests. So it used to be that the only way to access them was from the property page. We now added this address request tab and this whole new UI here on the left-hand side. You can now filter this by different periods, your start end date. You can also filter by, if you have the setting on where you manually send it out, by default, it'll automatically give them address, but under settings, you can turn it off so that the only way to get the address is if you send off the address like this, and it'll show you when it was last sent. That'll send them a text and email with the address for that property after they request it. So if you have that feature turned on, you can see exactly when you blast those off, or you could just select all and send off any that you haven't sent off. So this whole UI just makes it a lot easier for you to see who's requesting addresses for your property and keep track of who you've responded to. Okay. And next,
man, that just makes life so much easier than manually having to send text messages and or emails to people telling them, hey, here's the address. That's what I was constantly doing. I was constantly sending emails to people or sending texts to people like, we'll shoot it out. And then, 28 people want the address. So we got to send up 28 text messages and 28 emails letting people know what the address is, right? So it was very time consuming. So if I could just have the computer open and be able to easily send out that property address to somebody, it just makes it makes the situation so much easier. Lord have mercy. I'm really, really impressed with some of these add-ons that they've been doing. Obviously, they've been listening to the community and investing a lot of those profits into building out a much more robust system for their customers. So I do appreciate this stuff for real. This is crazy.
What's interesting is when I talk to buyers that are like that are unsubscribing, sometimes I call them, I talk to them, I'm like, hey, so did you just stop buying? And sometimes they're like, yeah, sorry, I retired, I'm not interested in deals anymore. But more often than not, they're like, hey, I want to get deals, I'm just getting deals that don't meet my buy box or aren't in areas I actually invest in.
See, I really, 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 really like this because I know that one of the big complaints or gripes about InvestorLift in the past that I've heard, at least from some other people, is that, when you send out a deal, you're sending out to thousands of people. And let's say I just put my list of buyers inside of there. Well, if my buyer opts out, then they would be opting out from everyone, not just me. So it takes like a lot of the best buyers out of the system constantly or whatever. Well, obviously they've drastically improved their opt-out experience where it looks like it's actually just going to basically improve that person's buy box. Instead of getting them to opt out, it's going to give them several different options to improve the type of deals that they're getting. Maybe don't get any deals from these specific wholesalers that's sending this deal out, or like maybe just from everybody. It gives them options. So really, 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 really like that. They should much more preserve the actual buyers list and keep some of those great buyers on the list for a lot longer, because they'll have the option to opt out from getting spammed, quote unquote, by a bunch of wholesalers that they don't even know, with properties that don't even match what they would actually buy. So it'll give them the opportunity to kind of go in and refine what they're looking for right here on this opt-out page. So I really like that. That's a nice improvement.
Next thing that's coming, this might launch as early as this week, is we're revamping the UI. It's funny, there's a lot of people that for some reason don't understand.
I really, really like this new UI that I'm looking at right here. It's got the numbers right at the top, kind of, presenting what people care the most about, like right up at the top of the page. Yeah, I really, really like the way that this looks. Let's see what else he has to say.
And that there's multiple pictures on the deal. So we're revamping the gallery. Will be multiple different photos. We're moving all the number data up, just some adjustments on the UI here, just to make it a little bit simple, a little bit more clean. Lead with the numbers right away, have all the stats right there. So just some small adjustments in the placement. And we're getting a new gallery as well. That'll make the images present a lot better.
Okay.
Where we went over the improved opt-out UI, jumped ahead a little bit on that one. Another huge thing that is coming very soon. It's almost ready. We've been working on this literally for months, and that.
Yo, hey, look, this could be a game changer right here. Two-way SMS. I really, really love the sounds of it. I know that that's one of the things that really made me like the concept of Town Square, because you can have those conversations right inside of the system. But if InvestorLift has this same type of two-way communication inside of the system, where maybe you can communicate with other wholesalers, maybe you can communicate with buyers, sellers, things like that, or whatever, that could be amazing and make the process a lot easier to run all of your business inside of one solidary platform. Man, hey, okay, I got to see what else he's got to say about this, because that's actually pretty legendary. I like that. Okay, let's see.
That is two-way text messaging. That's right. Right now, up to this point, when you send out your text blast, it's like it says at the bottom text, this is a texting service. For questions, please contact the discipline manager at blah, 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 blah. Even though it says that in the text, there's still tens of thousands of people that respond every single month. And so far, those have just been kind of dead, sitting there out in limbo, which has been a big problem, right? Like those are sometimes legitimate inquiries that come in. So we're finally going to be introducing two-way texting, where every single response to any deal blast that you do is going to be coming into the system, and you'll be able to have conversations back and forth through the system with your buyers. Absolutely fire. This is going to
Ooh, that's about to be a game changer, y'all. Like, seriously. Because like you could send out literally like 5,000 text messages, let's say that, telling people that there's a deal available. And if they reply back to that phone number, now you're going to be able to just communicate with them. I can easily see me hiring a virtual assistant to just reply back to buyers who want to buy the property now, maybe giving them like, lockbox codes and access dates and instructions and things like that. but being able to communicate everything right here inside of the system, as well as being able to shoot off that property address request right there in the system as well. This seems like this is really, really going to smoothen out the process, make it a lot easier, like I said, to just kind of use InvestorLift to dispo everything. Man, hey, okay. Well, I think that that's about the last of all of the updates that I wanted to touch base on in this video. If you want to watch the full video with all of the updates, definitely check out the video. I'm going to have the link down below or whatever you want to just watch the entire video with Robert. Shout out to the guys over there at InvestorLift, man. I do really, really appreciate y'all for putting in the work to make the software better. I love appreciating and supporting companies that actually like use the money that we pay them to make the software better. So thank Jesus that y'all are improving the UI, improving the user experience. I really, really appreciate that stuff, guys. But anyway, though, man, I'm very, very curious to see like what do you all think about InvestorLift? Have you tried it out yourself yet? If not, man, make sure that y'all take advantage. Use code Wholesale Coach VIP at the link down below. You'll see it scrolling across the bottom of the page. Use that link to go ahead and grab yourself InvestorLift for yourself. Get $500 off. Treat yourself. Don't cheat yourself. You know what I'm saying? And anyway, though, guys, but if you are using InvestorLift or have used it in the past, let's have a conversation, guys. Let me know what you think about InvestorLift down below. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns, comments about the software, what my experience has been and things like that or whatever. Definitely drop a comment down below if you have any questions, comments, concerns. I'm very curious to hear what you guys think about your experience as well. So anyway, though, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope that y'all having a blessed one. And until next time, guys, we are out.